Welcome back to my channel and a very special welcome if you're new here. My name is Jen. I'm a certified weight loss and nutrition coach who has lost and maintained a 140-pound weight loss. And today we're talking about fad diets. And this is going to be a two-part video series because there's a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about why they don't work and what you can do instead that leads to sustainable weight loss long term. So if you're excited, give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not, turn your bell on because I upload new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. Down in the description box, I will have nutrition coaching. Highly recommend personalized macros and calories. That is what I follow to lose and maintain my 140-pound weight loss, as well as one-on-one coaching for questions, accountability, or to talk with me directly. Links, discounts to my favorite healthy things are also down below for you. So let's start out this two-part video series with let's talk about fad diets and why they don't work. These days you cannot scroll on social media, watch the television, or walk down a single aisle in the grocery store without fad diets being shoved down your throat. And they all sound really good. Fast weight loss, you're gonna lose 25 pounds a month, you're gonna lose weight fast. All of these things sound really good. Even eat this food to lose weight. And honestly, the faster weight comes off, the less likely it is going to stay off. So I wanna talk about fad diets, kind of what they are, and really truly why they are not the way to go, as appealing as they may sound. As consumers, we get a lot of mixed messages on foods too. One day eggs are the best thing in the world to eat and the next day they are not. So it's really hard to dissect what is actually something we should be doing, what should we be eating, what diet or program or system should we be following. And fad diets typically are never based on any type of scientific evidence. They are just trends of the moment. And there's a lot of things that fad diets do that can really have a negative long-term effect on our relationship with food. They often demonize certain foods or food groups. They also encourage restriction, whether that be calorie restriction or food restriction, or they even try to tell us what time of day we should or shouldn't be eating. And none of these things are necessary for weight loss, especially long-term sustainable weight loss. The truth of the matter is the only way to lose weight is to be in a calorie deficit. And the reason any of these fad diets work in the first place is they put you in a calorie deficit. A miserable calorie deficit, but a calorie deficit none the less. So there are some things that we can do to be in that calorie deficit to lose weight, but do it in a way that we're not miserable. In fact, a lifestyle shift, a relationship with food shift, and a long-term way to lose and sustain that weight loss. So let's first talk about what are fad diets. Some examples: the ketogenic or the keto diet is considered to be a fad diet. The juice cleanse, something that supposedly detoxes your body, or something that claims that you're going to lose a large amount of weight in a short period of time. Think about things like gluten-free diet. Most people do not need to eliminate gluten from their diet to be healthy, and it does not lead to weight loss. I could go on and on about all the fad diets out there, but let's talk about why fad diets exist in the first place. The number one thing is they're money motivated. A lot of these fad diets are gearing us towards purchasing certain foods, certain programs in order to lose weight. Truthfully, you've got to make some lifestyle changes to lose and keep weight off. It's not just about losing the weight and then it all coming back in the next couple of weeks and you were miserable to lose it. It's more about how can I lose weight in a sustainable way that it's going to stay off long term, and how is this going to affect my overall life? What lifestyle changes do I need to make? And while you're losing weight, you should really be focusing on healing your relationship with food. You don't need to buy any specific product. You don't need to pay for any specific medication or program. You can simply lose weight and keep it off by being in a calorie deficit. And guess what? That is free and not a fad diet. Oh, and did I mention scientifically backed? So let's talk about reasons why fad diets don't work in the first place. Number one, they lead to deprivation. Most fad diets are extremely low calorie, and most fad diets, again, take away some type of food or food group. It's also really important to understand that what you weigh on the scale is a very small portion of your overall health, as well as your overall weight loss. The scale measures mass. It doesn't know what the mass is made up of. So if you need to go poop, it's going to measure that as mass in your body, and that number on the scale may go up. And people get so tied into the scale because of fad diets that they don't realize that the way our body is changing and the way our body is made up, our body composition, is even more important than the number on the scale. And what you have to remember is people who are in the fitness industry, female or male, whether they're fitness competitors, bodybuilders, bikini models, 99.9% of them are either overweight or obese on the BMI chart because they weigh way more on the scale than they should due to muscle mass. That is very different than being 200 pounds of fat versus 200 pounds of muscle. So don't put all your stock in the scale, and don't deprive yourself of your favorite foods. You can eat whatever you want to lose weight. You just get less of the unhealthier foods than you do of the healthy foods. You don't have to be in any type of deprivation or low calorie diet to lose weight. And in fact, it is more harmful to your health to eat too little than it is to eat too much. Let me repeat that for those in the back. It is more harmful to eat too little than too much. And what happens when we restrict or deprive? It's the #1 cause of binge eating. So if we tell ourselves, I have to restrict carbohydrates, I can never eat a cracker again, all we're gonna think about and want are crackers. And when we finally get a cracker, we're gonna eat the whole box rather than just a serving. Deprivation is absolutely unnecessary for weight loss. Another thing we're gonna see a lot with these fad diets is a lot of nutrition deficiencies. And that's because these fad diets often eliminate certain foods or certain macronutrients. The macros are carbs, fats, and protein. Our body needs every single one of those. You don't have to eliminate, restrict, or reduce your carbohydrates to lose weight either. If you're cutting out any food or food group, you're just making it a lot harder for your body to get its necessary nutrients. There is a reason we need protein, carbs, and fat in our diet. We don't want to eliminate any of those. We also find that people who eat a low carb diet that eliminate a lot of carbohydrates, they typically are deficient in fiber. There's no fiber in meat. There's no fiber in cheese. Where you're gonna get fiber is fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. And if you're eliminating or lowering your carb intake, it's very likely that your fiber is suffering as well. And fiber is almost as important as protein in your diet. And with that, it leads to unnecessary demonizing of foods. I can't have this, I can't have that. This food is bad, this food is good. Food has zero moral value. Food is food. We do not put a moral value on food. And like I said, you can eat whatever you want in moderation. You can have pizza for dinner. You just can't have the whole pizza for dinner. You can have a brownie. You just can't have the whole pan of brownies. And this is what I meant by working on your relationship with food while you're losing weight. Do not demonize any type of food. Food does not have moral value. And with all of that, this tends to lead to a disordered relationship with food. It leads to binge eating. It leads to calorie restriction. It leads to food restriction, anorexia, bulimia. These are all products of bad diets. When we demonize food, when we restrict, when we eliminate, when we say we can't have this, we can't have that, it makes us crave it more. That leads to binging. And sometimes we think we need to eat very little to lose weight, and that can lead to an eating disorder. We do not want any of these things to happen to us or our loved ones. And fad diets are the #1 cause of these, unfortunately. It is much better to just focus on a caloric deficit that is sustainable, something that is a mild caloric deficit rather than a major caloric deficit. There is very few human beings on the planet outside of children that need 1,200 calories a day. Most women especially need well above 1,200 calories a day to lose weight. Women also need over 2,000 calories a day to maintain their weight. So don't follow fad diets. Focus on something that helps work on your health, your relationship with food, your relationship with the scale, and just puts you in a mild caloric deficit. Now, I lost 140 pounds being in a caloric deficit and eating enough protein. That is all that I did. I ate everything I wanted throughout my entire 140-pound weight loss, and since then have sustained that weight loss for almost 4 years. So it is doable. I would highly recommend having your personalized macros and calories done. That is a service I offer as a weight loss coach. That is exactly what I followed. I did my own calories and macros. It is very affordable and it is life changing. Step away from fad diets, focus on a mild caloric deficit. I will have macros and calories linked down below for you so that you can get yours done and start losing weight in a healthy, sustainable way. Don't buy into the gimmicks and the fad diets. And if your social media isn't serving you because all you see is fad diets, it's time to hit that unfollow button. Follow people who promote a healthy, sustainable way of losing weight. So hopefully this helps kind of break down what is a fad diet and why it isn't beneficial. Part 2 of the video, we're going to talk about what you can do instead when it comes to fad dieting. Outside of a calorie deficit, what are some other things you can focus on to lose the weight and keep it off? So if you enjoyed today's video, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, turn your bell on, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.